So today is Friday, March 17th, 2022. 36 minutes in the afternoon. So I'm with my sister listening to Oprah Winfrey's masterclass with Smokey Robinson. And a key point that registered with me was him quoting his father as saying, wherever you are, you're there. And I thought to myself, as a man thinketh, so is he. On the surface, you can see it as, okay, I'm in the car. That's where you at. Well, how did you get the car that you got? Did somebody give it to you? Did you earn it? Did you pay for it yourself? Wherever you are, that's where you at. Like the mindset of ownership, the mindset of receiving gifts, the mindset of, let's look at homelessness. It's a mindset. It's, for whatever reason, I did not get back up on my feet yet, or at all. Or I've succumbed to, hey, this is where I want to be, and I'm willing to accept the experience of this. And I look at every time I've fallen in life. I mean, I'll never forget the beginning of my first divorce. I was sobbing on the floor, and my mother-in-law at the time was comforting me on the phone. And she was like, it's gonna be okay. And I'll never forget, God told me, he said, go read Genesis chapter 4. And God was talking to Cain. He said, why are you downtrodden, or why are you sad, or why are you bothered, or whatever? Sin lies at the door. And I mean, it was like, God, you are real. Like, for me, that was the first time I've truly heard him talk to me and comfort me directly. And this is while I'm crying on the phone with my wife at the time's mom, and I was just like, I mean, because it's different to believe in God and never have an experience with God. But to hear that, and then you go read the scripture, and it applies directly to what you're going through. And it was just like, from then on, he's like telling me what to read. And every day, he's talking to me and saying, read this. And my day fans out this. I have a text ministry that, and I'm getting off subject, but I have a text ministry that, I got messages from back in November that are coming out, and it's March. I have so many messages stored up from God just talking to me and telling me stuff. So as I'm driving now, I'm not trying to text and drive to get this down, but it was like, wherever you are, that's where you are, that's where you are. Wherever you at, that's where you are. It's like, where's your mindset? Where is your mind space set? How have you set your mind to attract, to receive, to believe, to achieve, to do the things that you do? Like, when I got up this morning, I'm used to a firm bed and sleeping at my aunt's house. It was a pillow top comfort. Oh my God, I fell right to sleep. It was like, comfortable, but it was of no good to my back at all. And I have to move this. Well, you can look in the back and see that big box right there. This big heavy armoire, and I'm just like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? My uncle not here to help. I'm just like, oh my God. So lo and behold, it was already outside the house. Praise the Lord. And it was in the garage. So I backed the truck up right up to it. like she guided me to like right to it. So I just tilted it over onto it, and how my back was, bothering me, it was not affected by a lifting, or pivoting, because I didn't really pick it up. I just pivoted. So I was so thankful for that, and even more thankful that, I was determined that it was going to get on, even though I didn't know how. So it was just like God just putting his hand on there, like, I got you. Again, I got you. So where are you in your spiritual walk? Even further than that, where are you in your relationship with God? Where is your relationship with God? That's where you are. If you have no relationship with God, you're lost. Because you're sitting up here trying to navigate a world that you cannot foresee what's around the corner. I don't care how much of a prophet you are, or a gift of discernment that you have. It only comes from God that you get that gift.
There's a slowdown ahead.
So I just look at it, and this is something that I am healing from, and I recognize as I bleed out, this wound is still open. I recognize that from my last marriage, I was still bleeding, because it's so many memories. We did so much stuff, going to different places and stuff like that, and then you see things and it triggers, and it's like, oh, put the bandage on, you're bleeding. Stop talking about it. Stop remembering it. Stop going back there. It's okay. It's over. You're not going back. She not coming back. Y'all have made it a decision, a line in the sand that move forward. And I recognize I have to cut the cord with the memories. I've cut the cord with her, but the memories and the recognizing of we're just two different people that can't attract each other. Wherever you are, that's where you are. And I just said, even recognizing that I even had a recent conversation where I was requested to give information about that. It was like, you know what? I don't have to entertain people just because they want to know about certain things. Now, if it's for ministry, that's different. It's going to help somebody heal. But I don't have to talk about experiences that it's like, this is a boundary for me. Because maybe I'm not at a place where I can talk about it in a healthy space. And I think, when you talk about something and then it goes to the negative, it's not a healthy space, because you're looking at all the hurt, harm, bad, whatever that happened. That's not a healthy space to talk about things. And guess what? I'm human. Judge me all you want to. I could care less. Because guess what? You not paying my bills. Even if you do offer support, you not paying my bills. Because what I do every day, I'm saying? Why I be the truck all the time? I be the truck because I do construction. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, if you do send an offering, I do appreciate that. But I am just trying to hit in the point that judge me all you want. We all human. We all got our flaws. And my goal is to step on the situation, activity, frustration, whatever it is that you need to step on to make better decisions. Because your life is a sequence of choices and the ripples that come after that, the domino effect of every choice that we make. Your life is the sum total of the choices that you made after becoming an adult, after becoming old enough to make choices that affect you. Even as a child, because if you go up to the hot stove and, even though your mother or father should be watching over you, but at the end of the day, our life is the sum total of our choices. So where are you in your choices? That's your life. Where are you in your relationship with God? That's a choice. That's your life. You got anything you want to add to that? You ain't gonna say nothing. You know what? My sister don't like to be tickled, so she didn't want to add that to it. So, it's brother sister time. It's punishment. I made a choice. She'll be laughing. We used to fight like a mug. I would tick her. Pop, 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 pop. Don't wake her up before it's time to get up. Pop, 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 pop. Choices, consequences. I guess I used to like get beat by my sister. Huh? That's probably why we so close now, huh? The one you fight with the most, that's the one you closest to, huh? But yeah, it's just, you look at the choices that you make in life, and even the impatience to learn a person. And I was just talking about the getting to know of people as I entertain energy now. It's just like how God leads me, like, you know what? Look how much you got to know about this situation. Look how much you learned in this. Look how much you learned about yourself. And even listening to Smokey Robinson, he marries a friend he had for 25 years. So they've known each other for 25 years as friends before the romance starts. How powerful is that in terms of a connection, in terms of a relationship? I truly believe the best mate for you is to marry your friend, because friends don't want to hurt each other. Even if they do, they apologize and they know you enough to say, hey, they don't like that. Or it's a more of a protection type thing. It's like, I don't want to hurt my friend. No, you're not going to hurt my friend. So it goes both ways. Wherever you are, that's where you at. Or however it was worded. But it's just like, for you to have a mental space of recognizing that it's good to marry your friend, you have to have had some experiences enough to say, this is why it's good to marry my friend. If you've just gone after the lust factor or the, oh my God, they got money, they look good. Well, what's behind all that? Because sometimes the money and the looks are a facade because they're a narcissist, or they're got some shallow values, or something is not all the way there for them as a person. And you have to recognize, what do you value in a person? And that's where you are. Wherever your values are, that's where you are. Do you value somebody who's there for you? Somebody who will go to the other side of the world for you to get you and bring you home? Do you value that? Like, do you value somebody who would nurse you to health, but at the same time, would you give that back to them? It's like, how much do you value people that don't value you back just because you're under the umbrella of, I don't want to be alone? Or maybe that's something you need to grow out of. Wherever you are, that's where you at. And I had to recognize I have to take more in life because I'm such a giver. And it's like, no, you ain't got to do that. Nah, I'm good. But at some point, you do need somebody. I had an accident August 31st last year, and it jarred my back in such a way. It was just like, oh my God. And I'm remembering it because my back, when I woke up this morning, was like, oh my God, I'm stretching and everything, trying to get this hitch out my back or whatever. Not itch, H-I-T-C-H. This twinge, or, you know, it's not really a pain, but it's, you know, I feel it or whatever. So just trying to do all sorts of stuff to get this discomfort out of my back. And it reminded me of that accident. And it just let me know that I need to have somebody to bring me a cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I still got to go to work, and I still got bills due. I still got stuff to do. And it's like, who is there for you? Wherever you are, that's where you at. If you're in a space where you're doing so much for people that you never expect or want anything done for you in return, you won't get somebody that is going to do something for you in return. And you have to recognize that's where you are. That's where you are. You are attracting these type of people. You are entertaining these type of people. You are demanding this of the people in your circle. So it's just time for you to grow up and say, this is where I am. Is this where I want to stay? Is this what I want? And once you recognize you want better for your life, you'll attract better. My daily confession is, thank you, Lord, for a reciprocal relationship where I have someone who gives back to me, and I'm not constantly pouring out. Because when you're constantly pouring out, you end up getting emptied out because nobody's pouring back into you. Yes, God pours in us daily, but in a relationship on this earthly plane, if nobody gives back to you, you're going to get emptied out, and that's where you are. You're steadily pouring out your cup that's not getting refilled, and that's not self-love. You have to love yourself enough to, number one, know where you are. To number two, know what you're getting in your giving and your getting, and to make a request for more of the same or improvement. Either you want to improve or you don't in life. Either you want to keep adding the strife or receiving the life that God promised us all, life in abundance. I was talking with my sister on the way down here. It's like, how great is it to be in a position where we can take off from work and come do something for our mother, visit a relative, and stuff like that. It's like, what a great place to be. And she asked me, like, how bad do you think the world's gonna get? I'm like, the world is already bad. There's a lot of good in it, but I'm like, we are blessed. We're in a protected space. We have employment. We have resources to be able to do extra things. But there are some people out here that are suffering. I mean, when I was a teacher, there was this student whose mom got arrested, and finally the school got in touch with the stepfather, and only to learn that the child was in a home out of the city, in a group, in some pretty much the child was homeless, staying with a aunt. And it was just like, wow, the child goes from bad to worse. You go from at least somewhere to, you got some stable environment and you going to school every day, to, okay, obviously my blood father didn't take me in for whatever reason that was, and now I'm staying with the aunt, a blood relative, but my aunt's homeless. So what resources do you have? The school can't even provide resources because the child is out of the city. It's just like, it's a lot of bad stuff going on. Even for people who have. I mean, you got rebellious kids just not honoring their parents for whatever reason. Whether it's parenting, whether it's children not just being rebellious, going through a stage of selfishness. You got war overseas, you got food hikes, you got gas hikes. I mean, $4 a gallon. Oh my God. Just got used to paying $3 a gallon. Now it's $4 a gallon. Plus over $4 a gallon. It's like, you got these people in power. I mean, like, it makes no sense that gas, everybody has to pay for y'all mistakes, y'all bad leadership, other people doing stupid stuff. We shouldn't have to pay for that. I mean, if you're gonna provide a stimulus, I mean, why not just,
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
cut some of that gas tax? Use other resources, gas all over the world. But hey, anyway, that's me ranting. But that's where we are. This is where we are. And if we want change, guess what? We got to do something to change it. I tell you, take time and just see where you are. Socially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. Like, how many more years you got to pay on your mortgage? Or if you're renting, do you plan on renting the rest of your life? Do you have a life insurance policy? Where are you? That's where you're at. If you pass, what do you leave your what do you leave your children? Do they just get things, or do they have character value? Like, where are you? Okay, looks like I got some reflecting to do. Y'all have a awesome day. May God show you where you are so you can improve, maintain, or totally rearrange where you are so you can enjoy where you at. God bless you.